All right, I know you really love to hate MSNBC.
Oh my God, I hate them so bad.
I've pulled up MSNBC right here.
Yeah.
Did Democrats learn their lesson after losing big in 2024? Apparently not.
Okay, is your point that they're barely hanging on, that they're in a life struggle right now just to hang on? Are the numbers any better with MSNBC? I mean, I truly do.
No,
I truly do despise MSNBC because I've seen the inner workings of it. As you know, you used to produce some of these segments that I would go on with Ed Schultz, and I saw the really ugly underbelly of MSNBC. And so I've watched these evolutions where we say, okay, this is going to be the talking point, where that memo goes out to everybody. And Ed Schultz, who I used to do the show with, he said, I don't like this talking point. I'm not a Hillary Clinton fan. I don't like TPP. I don't like these. I don't like some of the stuff that you're asking.
Comcast
the
buyout,
Comcast, exactly.
which had a huge stake in TPP.
That's
so,
exactly right.
A lot of these stories that couldn't be told on the network because, well, it kind of affects our bottom line. We don't want to talk about it. And that's what, a lot of these folks on the left who do watch MSNBC, well, they're giving us real news. Well, listen, you can get the real story from an independent outlet that's not going to be any kind of corporate influence at all in it. Why would you waste your time watching these people who are getting paid millions to water down the news for you? You don't need that.
All right.
And I do think a lot of folks are waking up to that. And I think this last election cycle kind of shocked them into reality.
The ugliest thing to me was when I would do a story on a company that's doing some really bad stuff and they're killing people with their conduct. Could be a pharmaceutical company, a wood company, just one example. I do a story on the fact that there's something called yellow wood. It's made by a company and they're putting the tons of arsenic in the wood, right?
Yeah.
And the company wants to take it and use it for children playground equipment. So I do the story on this, and they asked me to come back in and apologize about doing it. I said, hell no, I will not. No. Same way with the pharmaceutical story. Getting ready to do a story on Bayer, you're in this close count, 10, 9, 8, pap, kill this story, we got to go to something else. I want you to do constitutional law. All the time. That's not news. And unfortunately, there are people watching this segment right now that believe that MSNBC really is news. It's not news, is it?
No, in my opinion, absolutely not. And here's the other side of it, because this is a headline I came across a day or two ago. Fox News is not just crushing everybody else in the ratings. They're continuing to go up. So Fox News is absolutely killing it. And the story also pointed out the fact that Fox is now also killing it on YouTube, with their segments that they upload there. So you've got this right-wing behemoth owned by Rupert Murdoch that is out there just lying to people every day. I mean, we know that. You've gone on there and called them out on their lies. We've got so many segments.
They cut me off.
I remember that. That was great. But you used to go on there and get on Stuart Varney about every lie he tells.
Is that guy still alive, by the way?
He is. He's still doing it.
Okay.
But so how bad the Fox thing is, right? Just as bad as the influence with MSNBC. But Fox is surging and MSNBC is dying. CNN is dying. So to me, that is the answer I want. Is it something as simple as the MAGA crowd just wants the validation? That's why they're tuning in more? Because I don't think it's that simple.
Okay, but I think you hit it. It is validation. It is. They're saying the same things I want to talk about. I agree with that, therefore I'm going to listen to it. But at some point it becomes a bubble. It becomes a bubble that these people that are so dependent on those talking points to reassert what they believe, that bubble just collapses. And we saw it in the last election cycle. And we're going to see it again. And we're going to see it especially in the next 4 years.
Well, speaking of the bubble, there was also a great story. Adam Frisch, who was a Democrat running for Congress in Colorado, originally running against Lauren Boebert, but then she moved districts. But Adam Frisch this past weekend came out and he said, the Democratic Party, we're in such disarray that we are left with only 20 big cities and Aspen and Martha's Vineyard. That's all
I
we have
saw
left.
that. Matter of fact, you sent that story to me. That is talk about that's a scary damn story for Democrats.
Because it's the bubble. That's what he's getting at. He didn't get to make that, kind of comparison, but when you see these, West Coast liberals, your East Coast liberals, and they sit there and look in shock, how could Harris have lost? What's wrong? Everybody I see is a liberal just like me, but you're in the bubble. And that's why I always say, listen, come spend a week down here where we live. Come see that there is life outside of that bubble. And we're in one of the most right-wing areas of the state of Florida. But if you don't want to come here, go visit any other area of the country. Go visit an area that's 50-50. Go visit a swing district. Get out of your bubble, whether it's New York City, LA, Martha's Vineyard, Aspen. Go actually see how people live and what people think and believe. And then you get a better understanding of, okay, maybe a Bernie Sanders type can't win a Senate seat in Florida. Maybe we do need somebody who's a little more...
But is one of us.
Right.
But is one of us,
but that's the problem, because you see a lot of these folks who come from these liberal safe havens, have lived under Democratic governors and Democratic reps and senators, and they say, well, the problem with, a candidate that ran in Texas was, though they weren't progressive enough.
Right.
No, listen, you're not going to get Bernie Sanders or AOC to win in Texas.
No.
I would love it if you could, because those are the people that I like. But you're going to need somebody who says, listen, I'm going to tighten up the border. I'm going to, make sure that these corporations...
Mom and pop still matter.
Right.
Your children still matter to me.
But
and you matter to me, and I want you to make a good living, and I don't want eggs to be $2 a piece. Those are simple talking points.
But look, I don't like those politicians at all. But I do understand, because
if you want to win, brother.
Exactly.